Hey folks, what's up? Thanks for checking out I Suck at Painting, and today we are going to look at 5 apps for helping you with mini painting. These are all for Android. If it is not available on iOS, I will leave a suggestion to one that is similar. Alright, the first one we're going to look at, probably you already know, you probably already have. This is PaintRack. PaintRack's been around for a while. And it is really great at cataloging the paints that you already have and making wish lists for paints that you would like to get. You can look at this in different views. You can have every paint, or you can have it show only the manufacturers that you select. You can see here that there are many manufacturers. Pretty much everyone you will ever come across is already included in here. And you can choose which ones show in the lists in the main view. Now when you look at this view, you can have your mega filter on, which shows you only the paints that you already own in the different manufacturer's view. If you turn it off, it will show you every paint from the manufacturers you have selected. The paints you don't have an empty circle in the middle, and the ones that you do have are totally solid. These icons are also all a little bit different. The solid color ones are your basic paints, the ones with gradients are metallics, and the ones with the different kind of gradient are washes. It's really easy. It's really helpful as far as knowing what paints you have. Another thing about PaintRack that you can do is to make sets. This is like keeping track of recipes for specific things. You can give it a name, give it an icon, list the colors that you use, and add some notes. Honestly, this part of the app is not nearly as good as the one in Brushrage, which we are going to look at next, but it's there anyway. Another thing that you can do with PaintRack is the color tool. You can choose a paint and it will show you the closest matches from the manufacturers that you have enabled in your manufacturers list. You can see that there are numbers above these colors. The smaller the number, the closer match it is to the paint that you chose to compare. It also gives you a pretty rudimentary color wheel down in the bottom here. The quick scan is a nice feature. If you want to input lots of paints at once, you can just scan the barcode using your phone's camera. Alright, next we're going to look at Brushrage. Brushrage is fairly similar to PaintRack. It has an inventory function where you can input all the paints that you own. You can also make wish lists, and you can view this in different views, just like PaintRack. Honestly, this functionality in PaintRack, in my opinion, is much better. It's much easier to input paints. It's much easier to look at all of your stuff. But Brushrage has it also. Another really cool thing about Brushrage is the mixes. If you mix a lot of your own colors, this is a good place to keep track of the recipes for the colors that you mix. Now, where Brushrage really shines, in my opinion, is the how-to section. This is similar to sets in PaintRack, but much better. You can add the paints that you use, you can add photos, you can add notes, all of this. This one that you're looking at now, I actually made a long time ago, and at that point this whole thing was new and the photos part was a little bit buggy, so that's why there's a lot of the same photos. But that's been fixed now, and this is really cool. You can make these and you can share them. Yeah, it's really great. So the next thing we're going to look at here is a simple color wheel. The other apps that we showed, and this is called Color Harmonizer, by the way. The other apps that we looked at also have color wheels in them, but they're fairly simple. This one gives you a lot more options. You basically choose your color in the center, and you can adjust the brightness and darkness with the ring around the outside. Once you have chosen your color, you use this drop-down menu to choose the kind of palette that it shows you, corresponding to your chosen color. As you can see, there are a lot of choices in this app, and it's really pretty handy. All of these apps are free, by the way, so don't worry about that. Okay, moving on. The next app we're going to look at is called Palettes. And this is an image analyzer in which you can select an image. These are the stock images that come with it. I'm just going to choose one here. And what this does is it shows you the predominant colors in that image. It has the option you can turn on to show percentages. But this is really great if you have a photo that you really like the feel of it and the color palette, whatever about the photo you like. You can open it and find the colors that are in that. You should be able to use the color code in the other apps to find a paint that is very close to that. The last one we're going to look at here is the Citadel Colour app. You all know what this is. I'm sure you have it. In my opinion, this is really only useful if you want to paint something to look like the box art. You can look at how they do individual colors. You can search by color, and inside of that you can choose by what type of that color, like dark steel or bright metal or corroded metal or whatever. You can also choose to browse by model. And this is really the only place I think it's really handy. And again, that's only if you want to paint something to look like the box art. You can choose the model, and you can find the exact colors and the exact order and everything that they did to get the box art look. It is what it is. You guys all know this app, so we can pretty much stop talking about it here. I have noticed, looking at stuff though, like 80% of viewers on my channel are not subscribed. So now is a good time, wink wink nudge nudge, to hit all of those buttons: the like button, subscribe button, bell button, share button, kitty lickens button. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do here is do a little comparison on the image analyzing between palette and Brushrage. Now this is a picture of my good friend Steve French that I just took, and opening this image in palette we can see the predominant colors in this image. I'll turn on the percentages here, and this is checking out the entire image and showing all the colors in this image. Now if I open the same one in Brushrage, we'll see that the functionality is quite different, but also handy. In Brushrage, when you open an image, this is giving you colors on a pixel by pixel level, basically. So you can select the part of the photo that you would like to match, and it shows you a little color swatch at the top, and then you can look at a list of the closest colors of paint by the manufacturers that you have enabled. You can change which manufacturers are shown in here. And this is really quite useful. They're both very useful, just in different ways. One's more for getting a general color scheme, and this one in Brushrage is more for matching exact colors in an image. Alright, so I hope you found these interesting and helpful. If there's any apps that you guys really like to use that you think should be included in here, please leave it down in the comments. So with that, I will say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.